everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here. It is the end of 2025, hopefully, as you're seeing this, and I've read a lot of books this year. It should be exactly at 190, so I almost reached 200. Hopefully next year I will cross that mark. And to end off 2025, I've been thinking about what I should do, and I decided, since I'm branching out into more things than just Goosebumps, so I will bring up a Goosebumps book, perhaps, in this video. Not in positive light. I thought, why not make a top 5 best and worst books I read of the year video. This one being the 2025 edition. I did not do this last year. This is the first time I've ever done it. I don't know if this is an original idea. I don't think it is, but hey, here we are. Let's go for it. Most of this is kids' horror books, and I will not be spoiling any of them too heavily at all, besides maybe basic plot info that gets revealed in the first, wherever on the back of the book kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And I will have one YA in here. It's a novel though, so. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty fun top 5 bottom and top video. I've never done that before, I don't think. And leave your owns down below if you guys have been reading. And hopefully you guys use this as more of a recommendation video and a deterrence video for the ones I say are awful, unless you're otherwise. And how this is going to work is I'm going to alternate between best, worst, 5th best, 5th worst, 4th best, 4th worst, and so on and so forth. So, pretty simple. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in. Starting off positive, we have Second Sighting. This is a Strange Matter book. If you've been following my Goodreads, which I don't know any of you have, I've been loving Strange Matter as a series. It's slightly interconnected, and it's not so much where you can't enjoy it in individuality. Besides, Dory to Doom. And this is one that I strongly recommend to start off with, if anything, because this is actually one of my first Strange Matters. This is a literal blockbuster in book form. It is chaotic, it is action-packed, and it's all about aliens and sci-fi and all that good stuff. This book had me completely engaged, and I absolutely loved almost every second of it. It was just absolutely amazing, and one of the best kids' horror books I have ever read. Seriously, and this is what got me started on my Strange Matter journey, so this was a really good test to see if I was going to be liking this series. Even though I had already read one beforehand, I thought it was just okay. This was fantastic, so seriously, check this out. Now on to our 5th worst. This is a disappointing one, because I actually really like the cover art for this book. Monster Mosquitoes of Maine. Holy crap. This was one of the most bland things I have read just ever, seriously. I'm not giving out ratings in this video much, but this is a very low rating for me. Seriously, I've been reading these American chillers, and their quality is not the best. Sorry, Jonathan Rand. They're very poorly made, but they're still enjoyable. This one was just completely repetitive. It was the same thing over and over again. Just very boring. It's exactly what you expect. They're giant mosquitoes. The setting isn't very cool. It's just an abandoned farm, and it's not even, utilized very well. It barely even matters that it is. It's just so, you know? It has, nothing interesting here. So this is just gonna be one of the most bland, boring things I have ever read. Seriously, not very good at all. Kind of just sucked ass. Here's the only novel on this list of my 4th favorite book of the year. Autumn Bleeds into Winter. Now, if you're not familiar with Jeff Strand's work, he did the Eek books very recently, and he has a 4th on the way. And he's a notorious adult horror author and YA author. He's done some crazy novels. And this is the first one I checked out that wasn't Eek associated. And yeah, this was very, very, very good. It has some dark themes. It is about kidnapping and child murder. It is a very wild, and it is very much hooked on that thriller genre, obviously. The second to last chapter of this book is balls to the walls, and the ending is great. I just absolutely love this book, and it is probably one of my favorite novels that I've read so far, just in general. Now, this next one, my 4th least favorite book of the year, was one I had no expectations going into, because nobody's really read this book. Escape from the Haunted Museum. That's how, right? I forgot because I don't even think about this book. Escape from the Haunted Museum is one of the most poorly written books I've ever seen. And it's not the fact that the writing is, sloppy or it's, grammatically fucked up. Though, I guess there's some of that in here, I believe. It's aimed at, toddlers. And this is a book for 7 to 12-year-olds. It's treating the audience like they're fucking numbskulls. That's all I'm gonna say. The pacing is too fast. This one's got some really weak plot twists. It's boring. It's predictable. It's, again, way too fast for its own good. It's chaotic. And yeah, I know, boring, chaotic at the same time. You'll see what I mean if you ever get to this one, viewer. It is just a mess of a book and one of the worst of its series, Spine Tinglers, which is not going to be deterrent. Spine Tinglers is all over the place in quality, but it's usually either great or terrible. So you got to pick and choose. This is one of the really bad ones, and it just really sucked, mostly thanks to the writing. And the plot is just not it. There's literally, you gotta believe me, stuff in like the final 10 pages of this book, which is like, are we kidding, man? Awful. Dog shit, even. Now, this is one of my favorite books, possibly ever, from Kids Horror. These next three that are in the the good books, are seriously just fantastic. But this is the first one. Well, I think it's just the same quality. Plant People. This is another Strange Matter. You're going to see a theme in this video. We have one more coming up still. Strange Matter. This is, again, a very good kids' horror series. And this book is basically, I'm going to leave this very vague because I really want you guys to go into this one without much expectations. This is basically Sale the Basement ramped up to like 20. You know, it is absolute mayhem in the back half of this book. And it's got some of the best plant horror, I guess I could say. Some of the nastiest grotesque ideas I've seen with plants in horror in general, and it's just super, super awesome. Seriously, check this one out. Now, this book, I completely forgot it existed, and I almost put a adult horror book in this one's place, but I remembered it last minute, and this is the worst Ghost of Fear Street possibly ever. Or generally one of the worst Fear Street books, I guess. Yeah, you look at that cover art, man, it is also very reflective of the story, but that doesn't help anything. Yeah, The Boy Who Ate Fear Street. What the actual fuck is this book? It is a utter hot mess, and I don't even want to get into it too much, but let's just say the ending is one of the worst endings I've ever seen. It's not like originally bad. No, it's a already done terrible ending, and it decided, why not do that ending? Because it's terrible, and it's totally not a bad idea to throw it in here. Got ending. Yeah, the ending is just one of the worst things I've ever seen. And the book is just a very sloggy build-up. Seriously, it's just not worth your time, and do not read this book. Dog shit. Back to a lighter note. Another Spine Tingler, except we're talking positive, so here's the best Spine Tingler I read of the year. Boogie is Back for Blood. Now, this is a very rare one, so hopefully, if you guys can get your hands on it, you check it out. Seriously, do so. Don't sell it. It's a really darn good book. This is one of the craziest books I have ever read. It's basically got this Beetlejuice element where this guy, Boogie, is barely in the book, aside from two major scenes, which is his first introduction early on in the book, and the final battle with this character. And it's got that Beetlejuice vibe where he makes a big impression for what little he is in this book, which I'd say is about 25 pages of his madness. And other than that, this book is a very fun, a more mystery-focused story, but it's just absolutely bonkers when it gets going. It's super good, and I highly recommend you check it out. One of the most engaging reads of this year, I'd say. And I don't know how many of you were predicting this, but I think you all want to see it. Yeah, so, I mean, I've already said everything I need to say about this book in my review from, like, what, 8 months ago? 10, almost? Yeah, it's been a while. Say My Name is one of the worst books I have ever read. Except it isn't, because, I mean, the worst book I ever read, and this is literally the second worst book I've ever read. This is still my least favorite Goosebumps, by the way. This is terrible. The worst book I've ever read is coming up, but what else can I add to the conversation? Nothing, really. So, yeah, let's just give out a few insults for this book. Sewer plant, sewer plant. Did you know poop is a palindrome? Did you know what else this paper could have gone on? My ass, to wipe it. This is the embodiment of Stine's career ending. Anyways, what is the best book I have ever read from kids' horror? Maybe pushing it. I don't know. I still don't know what my favorite kids' horror book is, because it's always switching. There's a lot of good out there, and I'm thankful to say that mostly this year, I have had a lot more 5 stars than 1-star books. In fact, every single one of these has either been a 1-star or 5-star. You know, obviously. But this is the best book I read this year, and it is unsurprisingly Strange Matter. And if you're a fan of slime and monster blood and, you know, The Blob, the 1988 film, then, check out Something Rotten. This is a very dark kids' horror book. The ending is one of the most just cruel things I have ever read. Like, it's also insanely action-packed. The threat, which is called a Darrow, as you'll find out, is just crazy. It's basically quite literally the embodiment of the 1988 Blob for kids' horror, but also it works the same, if you know what I mean. Acidic, and it's got some crazy lore, it's got some awesome sequences, the climax is so intense, and there may or may not be some bloodshed in this book. So, I'm just gonna keep it light, but you'll read it and you'll find out that, it's pretty fucking dark. It had the balls to do what some kids' horror books just can't do. And the worst read of 2025, and the worst book I have ever read. This book has haunted my dreams. More like been the, conduit for my nightmares, if we're being real here. And I go to bed every night just in a cold sweat thinking about this book. It is hauntingly awful. I literally wrote a letter to Jesus wanting to repent for him to annihilate the planet because of how awful this book was. This is one of the worst books ever made. I'm saying with a straight face. This is awful. Seriously. Do not read this. Do yourself a favor and maybe buy it just to own it. But don't read it. Do yourself a favor and burn it, if anything, if you have dupes. Because no one should be disgraced with this piece of literature going through their fucking mind. It has a double ending, which is one of the worst double endings ever. The first one is already an absolute bombshell, and the bombshell is not it's not a fun time. And the second one, yeah, it doubles down on being just utter atrocity. Think Say My Name, Say My Name. It's basically the same book in a lot of regards, only it's over 200 pages. It's extremely fucking repetitive because it is Groundhog Day ripoff. Yeah, but Stine's doing it. And Stine, he's either really good at writing or he's extremely fucking bad at it, especially here. This is the worst book ever. And I think I've made my case. Hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 best and worst books of 2025 that I've read. And we'll hopefully do this again next year. I have big plans for next year, but I don't know how it's going to go over. I do want to say, I guess I'll put it in here, that I might do a slowdown on videos next year. Not because I'm lazy, but more so because I don't really know what I'm doing right now. Because there's not a lot of Goosebumps to talk about past book reviews anymore. Apart from cover art rankings, series rankings, and I'm almost done with those. Yeah, and obviously I can't really do comic rankings since those are still going on in House of Shivers. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave some thoughts down below. Leave your own rankings for your own books, maybe. Maybe if you read all these, I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.